Alright guys, welcome back to CryptoJiri. Today I'll be talking about the Bitcoin price as well as the short-term sell I'm looking at, in my opinion, as well as the long-term bullish buy for the long term. As well as we're going to talk about how the Canadian financial minister is not backing up his statements, as well as the CME's Bitcoin's option trading is going up in a very great start for this year, as well as a big crypto hedge fund and Visa's patent, as well as we'll look at a bullish chart. All right, so as you guys can see on the hour chart, I did draw out a head and shoulders for the current prices of right now. To me, it does look like a short-term sell. Again, guys, always buy at the dips of Bitcoin for hodling. But if you're trading, you can always buy and sell. So this will be a good sell for trading. This is what I'm looking at as of right now. But of course, if we look at the day chart for the long term, I wouldn't be, surprised if it went down to at least 50%, or to even bounce up to 61.80, and then we're going to go up to past 10K. I wouldn't be surprised on that. So that's what I'm looking at as of right now. All right, so Canadians showing us why cryptocurrencies will be the future, because of how the Canadian financial minister is basically talking about he has no statements about their debt, as well as the way that they're keeping their money. So let's take a look real quick.
Mr. Poilievre.
The total liabilities of the Government of Canada.
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we will continue to support Canadians through this time with support not only for businesses but for individuals to get through and get a bridge to a better time.
Poilievre.
Just the dollar value.
The Honourable Minister.
And that's a continuing commitment, Mr. Speaker.
Poilievre.
I know we shouldn't ask the Minister about numbers. He's just the Finance Minister after all. But what is the equity of the Government of Canada's on the Government of Canada's balance sheet?
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I would advise a member of Carleton to memorize those Auditor General figures for his next foray into the House of Commons.
The Honourable Mr. Poilievre.
So the Minister has claimed that our balance sheet is strong. There are three components to a balance sheet: the assets, the liabilities, and the equity. And the Minister doesn't know any of the three. So clearly he doesn't actually know anything about our balance sheet. That's reassuring. Now, according to the Auditor General, the negative net worth of our Government of Canada will be as much as $1 trillion by the end of this fiscal year. Can the Minister, if he's familiar with any of these numbers, tell us, is it possible his government will hit $1 trillion of debt this year?
Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, I want to assure Canadians that our approach will be to continue to make investments on their behalf, and that is available to us because of our strong fiscal position, but we will continue to take that approach, which we think is the appropriate approach.
Absolutely. Poilievre.
$1 trillion, yes or no?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, as I said, we will continue to focus on the importance of supporting Canadians.
Mr. Poilievre.
What is the size of our current national debt?
The Honourable Minister.
And Mr. Speaker, I think that what will happen as we do that is we will allow ourselves to have a stronger economy at the end because of these investments.
Poilievre.
The size of the national debt?
The Honourable Minister.
And we have always seen, Mr. Speaker, that these investments, they're not only supporting Canadians, they're supporting businesses, so that we do have a strong economy and a strong fiscal position coming out of this position.
Mr. Poilievre.
Does the Finance Minister know the size of our national debt?
The Honourable Minister.
The interpreters. Mr. Speaker, I will continue to focus our efforts, as we believe we should focus them, on supporting Canadians through this time.
Mr. Poilievre.
Does the Finance Minister know what $1 trillion is?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we are continuing to make investments that we believe are prudent in the face of this economic challenge, supporting Canadians as we know we need to.
Mr. Poilievre.
What is the total dollar value of all the public and private debt in Canada?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we know that by supporting Canadians, by investments, that we will enable because that's
Mr. Polyev.
What is the total debt, public and private, as a share of GDP in Canada?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the important consideration here is that the federal government is taking a position that we should support Canadians so that they don't take on the debt themselves.
That's right.
We have last intervention.
And yet they have record household debt, record corporate debt, and growing government debt. The finance minister doesn't seem to know any of the basic numbers you would be required to govern the finances of the government of Canada. So I will give him one last chance. What is, based on his latest briefings, the total size of Canada's national debt? If he doesn't know, can he have the humility and honesty just to say so?
Right. So as you saw in the video, right, he doesn't know what he's talking about, and it's crazy how politicians are getting away with these type of hiccups. But right, that's what politics definition is really you're betraying someone else rather than yourself. So if we take a look, Planetary Capital Crypto Hedge Fund are losing double digits, but Bitcoin Fund is up 10,000% to date. So there's a win and a loss in the title, of course. So let's take a look on what they're trying to say on their losses. So heavy losses are rocking alternative crypto assets. Funds at Planetary Capital, one of the oldest cryptocurrency investment managers, and providing stark contrast to the Bitcoin Fund's gains. So basically what they're talking about is they are losing a bunch of money in the alternative crypto asset funds. So basically like Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin, and all of those other alternative crypto assets. But Bitcoin is thriving. It's the most profitable crypto that they have out there on their asset sheet. So let's take a closer look. So the flagship Bitcoin fund, holding BTC since 2013 and Bitcoin Cash BCH since 2017, lost 75.6% in 2018 and gained 87.7% in 2019. According to internal material seen by CoinDesk, the last 2 years dragged the Bitcoin fund's all-time returns of 10,162%. That's insane. Down 54% from 2017's peak of 22,321%. But exceeding all-time returns at elite funds hundreds of times over. So as you guys can see, basically they're losing Ethereum, XRP, Ripple, and Zcash, about 73%. So yeah, that's basically a good news outlet of how Bitcoin's doing as of long term for bullish so far. If we take a look on this next article, Bitcoin options trading at CME surged to new highs in halving week. So the investor interest in Bitcoin options listed on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, CME, peaked to record highs in the days after the recent halving event. So, right, as you guys can see, it did blow up in the last couple of days to even $40 million. So nothing too crazy or too surprising, because we would see this happening. So, but it is a good sign that we are looking in a bullish trend once again. Now let's take a look at the Visa patent filing would allow central banks to mint digital fiat currencies using blockchain. So another great news for the blockchain technology. Another great way to get a career in is how to code blockchains, just because of the financials behind it. So looks to be laying around the groundwork for a future in which fiat currencies such as the US dollar could be easily turned into a central bank digital currency, CBDC. The Californian-based payments giant, which processes upwards of 100 million transactions every day on average, has filed a patent application for a process of turning physical fiat currency into a newly digitized version. The filing, which was filed with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office in November and made public on Thursday, says the system would be able to mint digital fiat currency and keep a tally of issuance on the blockchain. So, once again, they're basically trying to create their own coin rather than from physical cash, and they are always, of course, trying to track it, which is not that good in some people's eyes, but who knows how that's going to turn out to be. All right, guys. Of of course, you can see this picture from basically all of the 3 halvings till now, what has happened, as well as why I'm on the bullish long-term trend. So as you guys can see, right, the first halving as of 2013, there is a big bull market over there, as well as the 2016-2017 bull market, and then of course from today's bull market. As of right now, we are for sure in the accumulation stages, which is a great thing because of course next coming up is gonna be the bull market, and we're gonna see a big pump through there. So hopefully you guys have a great day and good news that I'm coming to you guys, and always keep halving.